Hello everyone, this is Venom with We Have Landed Entertainment, and I am back with another video talking about Starfield. I made a video the other day talking about the endgame from Starfield, and I've had some time to get my thoughts together, and I wanted to kind of talk about that situation a little bit more because I think it's going to become a really big issue in the next few days. Now, as of right now, I think Starfield has actually officially released, so the early access time is done. So it's September 5th right now. It is 8 since, so it's actually been out for about an hour and a half. So a lot of people are starting to get their hands on the game right now. Now, for those who don't know, again, this is going to be severe spoiler territory. So if you don't want any spoilers, go ahead and click out the video now. Although if you would please subscribe and drop a like, I would still appreciate it. But this is going to be very heavy spoiler territory. So it's going to spoil the end game and a lot of the game mechanics, but if you haven't seen my other video, this is a mechanic and this is a spoiler that a lot of people I think are going to need and they're going to want. In fact, in one of my other videos, I kind of mentioned this already and somebody commented they were really glad that they saw this spoiler because if they hadn't had it and they got to the end game, they would be pretty pissed off. And I think that's going to be the sentiment for a lot of people for Starfield. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this in 5 seconds. This is your last spoiler warning. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So again, the in-game mechanic for Starfield is that you can do a new game. Now it's not New Game Plus. They made this distinction, and I can see why. It is just New Game. What happens with the new game is you can actually take your character and do a new game. All it really is, I say it's not New Game Plus. They say it's not, but it's just a New Game Plus. You take your character and you start over. And that's the big thing there. You can actually take your character and start over. But the big issue that people are going to have, and I'm telling you, this is going to end up being an issue, is that the only thing that carries over in your new game is your character level, your powers, and your skills. You literally lose everything else you worked for in the game, including your ships, your items, including all your legendary items and weapons, your armor, your credits, everything. That also includes any progress you've made on any quest, whether it be main or side, and any companions. Everything is just wiped clean. You literally start over. Granted, when you start over again, you have a few new... there are going to be some quirks with the new universe. What it is you're basically going to a different universe. And when you do it, you kind of know what happens already. So you're going to have some different dialogue options when you go through the quest. You can actually skip the main quest if you want to, because when you do the new game... When you get your powers again, it actually upgrades the powers when you get them again. So instead of getting the same power over and over, it will upgrade it. So that's how you upgrade these powers, is by doing the new game. And you're going to have different dialogue options based on that. But you can actually skip the story if you want to. It's an option. Do you want to skip the story, or do you want to do the whole thing over again? Skipping the story just helps you get back to the end game again, so you can basically farm the end game. Because each time you do the end game, you get to upgrade the 2 things you do actually do from getting... the 3 things you actually do get from doing the new game. When you do the new game, you actually get to upgrade the 3 things. That's going to be your powers by doing the temples again. But when you do the new game, you actually get a ship and a set of armor. And each time you do the new game, you get a different, more powerful ship and a different, more powerful set of armor. It's a starboard armor and starboard ship, and you can do the new game up to 9 or 10 times, and that's when it's going to max out on how strong your powers are, assuming that you got all 24 powers. That's right, there's 24 different powers. You got each one upgraded on each run, and of course, you're going to get your ship and your armor upgraded. Now, the problem is, first off, I didn't find all the powers in my first playthrough, and I don't know if you can find them all technically on each one. But even assuming that you get all 24 powers upgraded each time, it takes about 5 minutes to upgrade each power, get into the temples. That's about 2 hours worth of time for 24 powers. And then it takes about an hour and a half, people are saying, to just do the new game if you skip the main quest. So that's about 3 hours per cycle. So that's 10 cycles. So we're looking at an additional basically 30 hours worth of main story quests you've got to do after you finished everything, if you want to get everything maxed out. Now, this may not be an issue for some people if this was just, like a first-person shooter or something, or anything like that wouldn't be an issue. But this is a Bethesda game. It's an RPG. People are not going to go into this knowing this. They're going to go in, they're going to do a bunch of side quests, they're going to farm for credits, they're going to spend hours upon hours. The first time I tried to make a ship, I spent 3 hours just trying to make the ship and ended up deleting it anyway and started over and ended up making a new one, which I currently use and I really like. But people are going to be spending tens, hundreds, thousands of hours on these characters, And if they're avoiding spoilers, they don't know what's coming. They don't know that they're going to have to make this decision to essentially destroy their character and all their hard work and start this new game just for these 2 items. And if you're a collector and you want to get everything, you're going to want to do that. Or to just go back and never get those items. It's going to be a decision people are going to have to make, and they're not going to be happy about it. I was pissed off about it. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this grand philosophical, decision like, hey, do you stick with everything you've gathered? Do you keep all your progress? Do you keep all your hard work in this universe that you built a home for yourself and whatnot? Or do you go to a whole new universe and throw it all away in pursuit of more power? And that would be a decision worth talking about if it weren't for the fact that getting stronger in this case is not worth it. It is objectively not worth it. I think I looked at the armor and the ship you get. You can build better armor and ships in the game. Granted, you're going to need a lot of materials to do it, but you can objectively become stronger than the Starborn, or you can get stronger armor and ships than the Starborn armor ships you get after 10 new games. You can objectively do that. The powers, yeah, they're good. You can upgrade them to the point to where a lot of powers you can use constantly, but it's still not worth it. Unless you're playing like very, very hard and you really need those powers to be super maxed out, then the powers themselves aren't worth getting it either. And really, my opinion, there's a better way to upgrade them too. There's an item in game. Every time you kill a Starborn, you get this little item, and all it does is just it speeds up how quick your powers refresh. Personally, I think they could have used those to upgrade your powers, kind of like you do Souls in Skyrim. They could have used a much better system using those, than doing the whole new game plus. That's what they should have done, in my opinion, and I'll make another video on that one here coming up, some changes I'd like to see in the game. But people are going to be really pissed when they see this, and the power you get from doing a new game, it's not worth it. I mean, it's subjectively not worth it. Now, if you're the kind of person who just wants to play through it and see what's going on, or you already know what's coming, yeah, you can be prepared, you can do all your new games and then go in. But what's going to happen is people are going to get to there and they're going to realize, to do this, I've got to destroy everything I work for, and it's not going to go over well. Now, I've seen some people in the community, and by the community, I've been lurking in Reddit and the Discords. I actually joined the Starfield Discord the other day, a couple of them. I think I'm in the official one, or at least the first one that pops up in Google, and a couple others. And people are talking about this in the gameplay section, the spoiler section, and I've seen some people try to defend this, saying that it keeps loot, kind of continuous, the endless loot grind. This new game system doesn't make this a continuous loot grind. It makes loot useless. It makes it useless until you get to the new game plus 10, and then you start a loot grind, and then there's an objective cap as to, you can actually start collecting everything, or you can get a strongest version of certain guns. So the loot grind isn't continuous in this game. If you're doing the new game mechanic, it is useless. It's not even a grind. The loot doesn't matter anymore. You can see like the best weapons in the game, and if you're doing a new game, you're not going to get to keep them. You got to lose them. Also, once you know what is happening, or once you know about the new game plus, or if you hear any hint of it, it kills any desire you have to want to play any side quests or any faction quests. All you want to do at that point is just get the main story over with and do new game crap. So that killed any desire once I found out in me to do any side stuff until I found out about this. And it's not clever either. It's not a very clever mechanic. I was thinking just last night, I was lying in bed, I'm like, this whole situation, this story, it feels familiar, and I realized where it feels familiar from. BioShock Infinite. And BioShock Infinite did this idea of multiple universes and multiple different timelines a lot better than Starfield did. What they did in the end here is something that really should have come mid-game. This should be something that when you don't have to lose your entire progress, where you get to explore all these multiple universes, it should be something that is introduced mid-game, or something that you can explore and then come back to your home universe in. That's what needs to happen, or that's what should have happened. Instead, it's like, and I'm going to use this as an example too. For those that have played any MMO, I play Final Fantasy XIV. This is like playing Final Fantasy XIV, beating Endwalker, and then once you beat Endwalker, you have a chance. You can either stay in the world with nothing else to do, or you can start over, you lose everything, but you get to keep your level, you get a slightly stronger chocobo, and you get a chest piece that changes colors and is a couple points stronger, each time you beat Endwalker. That's what this is equivalent to. Now, here's the other parts of this new game, is that each universe is slightly different. Okay, so some universes, like I explained before, there are going to be little quirks to it, and these quirks in the universe are this is a big selling point that I think Pete Hines was talking about. You know, the world the game doesn't open up until you beat the game. I think this is the quirk he was talking about, because each time you get a new game, there's a little quirk in the universe, like all the signs are dead, or all the signs are copies of you, or, I'm sorry, not signs, I was thinking Final Fantasy 14. All the Constellation members are copies of you, or they're dead, or there's certain people that just aren't there, or certain dialogue options are different. That's the whole big quirk of it, which means that they really intended us to engage with this quite a bit more than I think people are going to be willing to do. Or they put a lot of faith that this new game mechanic was going to be something that people were just going to be on board with, and I think they are sadly mistaken. And I said, BioShock Infinite did it, and they did it a whole lot better, and they did it without ruining the game, too. So, and all really the new game did was add time for me to wait to get to explore the rest of the game. So, luckily, me and the people that we checked for the spoilers, we knew what was coming, so my gameplay experience, while it was tedious to get to this point, wasn't totally ruined. This is going to ruin a lot of people's gameplay. This is going to ruin a lot of people's experience. There's going to be a lot of people that I think are going to want refunds when this comes out, although by the time you get to endgame, it's going to be past refund time. But I think there are going to be a lot of people that are going to have a lot of backlash for this. And me, like I said, I know about this, but I've been looking at spoilers. I've been playing the game for like 4 or 5 days now. I'm already aware of this, and a lot of the community that have been playing are already aware of all this. I think the majority of people still don't know about the new game plus and what's about to happen. So this is going to be really interesting. Like I said, it really I didn't think it was clever. I didn't like it, but the rest of the game, don't get me wrong, I'm legitimately enjoying the rest of the game. But that's just it. This one thing is so big that I really think there needs to be some kind of warning, a spoiler. Like, people need to know about this before people lose their progress, or before they really lose all their hard work, because they're gonna get that. If this is a surprise to you, this is gonna hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're not gonna like it. So, like I said, that's just my thoughts again. I just had additional thoughts after I put the video out the first time about this. This is the last time I'm gonna talk about it, unless something crazy happens. I might follow up on it. I'll take it back. I might follow up when people start hitting the end game. I'll see what people are saying or how people are reacting to this. Because I really want to know, and I want to see what Bethesda's response is when people get to this. Because I really think they thought that they were clever doing this, and that they made this whole narrative that, they're making people decide, make all these life-changing decisions. Is all your time that you put into this universe worth it? Are you going to keep it, or are you going to explore this other universe? And I think all it really is a slap in the face. But that's all from me, guys. Please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Leave your comments down below too. Let me know what you guys think about this too. Am I the only one? Like, a part of me worries that I'm overblowing this, but at the same time, I've been in the community for a while. I really think this is going to be an issue that's going to really, it may even hit mainstream. We'll see though. It could be something I'm blowing over, or blowing up to be bigger than it actually is. But either way, thank y'all for coming by. Drop a like. Please subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and I will see you all later.